Right, this video we're going to talk about, me and Matt are going to hit with, I got an old Balata ball. So I used to play Balata balls. I got this one actually from my practice bag, believe it or not. It was the freshest one I could find. Now, little disclaimer here, I know that old Balata balls might have wear and tear. They're liquid core as well. We've got no idea how intact the core is, any of these things. So this isn't a scientific test, because I actually don't think you can really do one on Balata balls very easily. And when I spoke with actually Titleist about this, they were like, these tests are always a little bit out there. So do whatever you want with the results, they're up for you. But I'm hitting a Balata ball and Matt's hitting it, and we're going to test how easy it is to hit fairway or not with a Balata ball, because you so often hear the commentators say, oh, you know, the new ball goes straight, the new drivers are easy, golf's easy now, all these kind of things. Let's discuss that and play with that idea. Right, series of shots then. I'm going to hit the Balata first, and then I'll hit my Strixon second. Accuracy, will it change? And I'm going to hit these like flat out, hard as I can. That's a good start. I played Balata, so I remember looking down at that ball, and I don't remember struggling to hit fairways using one in any way, and I don't remember it ever doing what I didn't put in. Like, I never remember hitting a shot that wasn't what I did, apart from it was very easy to misshape them, and you would hit some, I remember hitting draw fades, it would go both ways in the air and you'd instantly look at the ball and swap it out. And what's interesting hitting it with this modern driver is the sound of the driver wins again. It doesn't sound softer at all. It sounds very similar to the current ball I game. And when I talk about sound, what I mean is it feels the same. Again, these just seem to be going where I'm hitting them. It's like miss hit on that one. Heely, so I'd expect it to start left. Now I am hitting these literally as hard as I can. I'm trying to be as erratic as I can. There's no trying to just hit fairway. I'm going at full tilt to see if there is a ball influence over any of the control I have or don't. Oh, get on it. Go on. Right, last one, and then we'll hit some with the Strixons. And again, I'm just literally smashing these. Caught that slightly out of heel and got a fraction of a fade, but it's still in fairway. Possibly a fractionally louder sound on strike, fraction. Slight toe, giving it a fraction more over draw, catch most fairways. Right, last one, and we'll look at the numbers. Definitely seeing a difference in carry distance, not feeling anything different in direction apart from what I'm doing. Again, like that's me going flat out.
Right, I've been ordered by Mark to give this Balata a bit of a send down the range. I didn't actually play Balatas, so a bit younger than Mark. And when I found them, I was always gutted that they won a Pro V. Now that was a bit low, but the flight looks different to what my ball normally does. Oh, that's a proper one, I reckon. Slightly high toey. Right, my normal chrome's off now. Let's see what the difference is, if there is any. sounds very similar. Hardly anything in it. That's a better one. First one a little leaky. Blimey, these could be straight to the marks. Hit the line. Come on. Ah. Right, couple more. Oh, it's a low ball. Right, last one, and then we'll look at both sets of numbers, I think. Oh, finished on a liner. Bit right. Oh, close. Right, let's start with Mark's numbers. Now, this surprises me. Ball speeds are very close, and like the old ball, softer, spinnier, you would think that ball speed would drop quite a lot more than that, and it's only, what, 2 miles an hour slower? Launching around the same. Now, this is the biggest difference out of all the numbers. Z-Star spinning at 2,061, Bellata 3,443. Now, that's the number that's going to have the biggest effect on this carry distance. And look at that, 276 with the Z-Star, 249 with the Bellata. What's that, 27 yards difference? That's quite a lot, isn't it? But ball speeds, 27 yards, nearly the same. That's been having a massive effect on those carry numbers. Let's just flip to my numbers quickly and see if that's the same for me. So my numbers, ball speeds, 166 ball speed with the Chrome Soft, 164 with the Bellata. I think that that's pretty much spot on 2 miles an hour like Mark's was, and launching the same, and again the backspin, look at this, 2,983 for the Chrome Soft and 4,349 for the Bellata. That is quite a jump, isn't it? And if you take that to the carry, like with Mark's, 254 for the Bellata and 279 for the Chrome Soft. That's what, 25 yards, so very similar to Mark's again. So similar patterns with both. So let's look at the graphs at the top here, because these are really interesting. Graph on the right shows dispersion left and right. I do have one wild one with my Chrome Soft there, which I hit first. But if you take that out, very similar with dispersion. I've just managed to start the ball in the right spot to hit target more with my Chrome Soft. Short and long, very similar too. Graph on the left here, this is the big difference. Like, you can probably think back 10, 15 years when people were hitting balls and it used to rise up and fizz away. Look at the green with the Bellata, it rises up, whereas the Chrome Soft is more of a rainbow flight. Let's have a look at Mark's and see if his is similar, which I'm guessing it will be looking at the spins that we saw. Similar pattern, rising up with the Bellata, rainbow flight with the Z-Star. And if we quickly go back to the left and right dispersion, this is all you. Face to path, if we go to the club data, Mark's face to path, slightly more open with the Bellata. I think that is the green one, which are more missing to slightly to the right than anything compared to the Z-Star that he was using with his ball. But this is all him. That graph up there, left and right, is all us and me the same. If I go back to my graph quickly, my face to path is also a little open with the Bellata, and it's just reflecting the player and what they're doing, that left and right dispersion.
There we go, interesting test, wasn't it? I mean, I remember gaming Bellata. I don't remember ever struggling to control it. I don't know where it comes from, apart from people not understanding maybe that they got a 5-iron rather than a 7-iron, and a 5-iron is easier to hit offline than a 7-iron because of D-plane. I feel like that's where it's getting lost, because it certainly isn't the ball. Now, I've got a question for you, and we got another video that will lead on to this really interesting study we did with the ball. And obviously I know the limitations of the ball, so like, this is as good as we can do with what we can get. But I'm quite confident that you would get the same with a brand new ball, if not very similar. So the question, if the ball had to be rolled back, so the question isn't should we roll the ball back or not, that's a different debate. If the ball has to be rolled back, and let's pretend that I'm pretty confident they could make a Bellata ball with a modern cover that wouldn't degrade like they did when you mishit them. You'd put smiles in them very quickly and then you would get wobbly flights. Let's pretend we get a cover that lasts, but we've got the aerodynamics of what you saw in that test there. We're both 26 yards averaging shorter, 26 yards with a driver and then another 15 say with an iron. You know, it all adds up over a hole. It's going to be a 7-iron into a green rather than a wedge. Like, that's a big difference, isn't it, for saving courses and changing the way the game is played at your home courses and obviously on tour as well. It'll give you more variety into greens possibly. So the debate and question isn't should the ball roll back. Let's pretend it has to be rolled back. Is this a good option? Will this change the way people play? Will it make them have to adapt and get better at longer irons, those kind of ideas? In that comment section down below. And like I say, we've got a test challenging this idea coming maybe next week. Look out for it. So if you're not a subscriber already, give us a subscribe, and if you are a subscriber, ring that bell and then you won't miss the next test, because it's a really interesting one what we do with this ball next week. But I'm interested to see your thoughts on my question. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. As always, speak to you soon.